Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Simple Car Guy channel. In this video, I'm introducing my new car, a Fiat 500 Abarth or Abarth, not really sure. I feel like different people pronounce it differently, but this is my recent acquisition. Just got it a few days ago at an auction for an awesome price of $3,100. I'm gonna go over how I got it for so cheap, since this is the cheapest Fiat 500 Abarth in the country. It was cheaper than Tyler's from Hoovies Garage 500 Abarth, so I think I got a really good deal. As you can imagine, getting this car for $3,100 is not easy, or there has to be something really wrong with it. Well, the good news is that it runs perfect, it shifts perfect, it looks okay. I mean, you can clearly see that it's very dirty, but this is how you get the cars from auctions, and I got this car at an auction. I'm not really going to get into history of Fiat in America, since everybody already knows it. They used to be super unreliable. Nobody really wanted them, so Fiat decided to bring, these low fun cars to the States in, I believe, 2012. Unfortunately, they are stopping production or stopping selling them here in the States. So I feel like this is the last chance to get one of these for pretty cheap. I have watched so many videos of people just loving these cars, I kind of had to get one and see what it's all about. So this is why I got mine. As you can imagine, buying a car at an auction, you have very limited information. So when the car shows up at your house or your dealer or whoever it might be, a lot of times you're going to find things about the car that you weren't expecting at all. I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. First thing that I noticed about this car is that it sounds fantastic. Even when it idles, it sounds really good. It sounds way better than a Mini Cooper S, even though it has a smaller engine and also has a turbo. So I don't really know what they did, but it sounds really good. I mean, it's idling right now, but I'll put in a clip of it revving up, or I'll have a little bit of a clip in the beginning of the video, and it just sounds great. We're gonna start with the exterior of the car. As you can see, it's not in the best shape. It's also very dirty. This is how most cars come from auctions. You know, they sit there for months, so they accumulate a lot of dirt and even dings while sitting in there. So we'll start on this side. As you can see, the tires are pretty much gone, probably need to be replaced. They're also all different. Well, there's 3 different brands on this car, which is definitely not good. There's also a dent, and the side skirt's kind of coming off. If we move up a little bit, you see there's a dent in here as well. I don't know if it's kind of difficult to see on the camera, but it's definitely there. And we'll go more around the car. There's more small dents on here and here, but none of this would make the car, be worth $3,000. They're valued at least double the price of what I paid. So even with those dents, it's still a very good deal. It also has wrong size tires on it. These are far too meaty for this car. I understand why they did that, because the original tires, the proper tire size, is kind of difficult to find, and it is also very expensive for what the car is. The tires like $140, where I was able to get Michelin tires for this car for like 60 or 70. So yeah, that's kind of a big difference if you think about it. But the main reason why this car was so cheap is because of this. So as you can see, it hit something on the front. There's definitely some damage to the bumper, to the skirt, and more importantly to the underneath. Luckily, none of the actual parts were damaged, and this is just cosmetic. So it's literally just these plastic and the inner skirt that's been torn off. So what I'm gonna have to do is jack up the car and take a look what's going on in there, take off all those plastic parts. I already drove the car, so the car drives fine. It does scrape a little bit, but that's about it. Other than that, it drives great. The engine sounds really good. It's smooth, it shifts well. I took it for a drive around the corner, and it was a lot of fun to drive, so I'm really excited to get it all fixed up, make her pretty again. I mean, you look at this car right now and it's so dirty, and it's kind of you know, hard to see, but man, it's a lot of fun to drive. So I really want to get it nice and pretty and fixed up and take it for a nice long drive, you know, take it on some twisties, have fun. The next thing that was a surprise to me, so like that corner, I knew it was like that was in the pictures. What I didn't know is how disgusting this interior is. If you take a look, it's just dirty everywhere. I mean, there's dirt and there's grime all over the car. This plastic piece is pretty much coming off. This is loose. I mean, this is all coming like barely holding on. You look at the gear shifter. This is all messed up. This car only has about 80,000 miles, so it's surprising that it's in such a bad shape. My Mini over there has 105,000 miles and it looks brand new inside. The armrest is also broken off. And this is how the car looks like everywhere in the back as well. So it's definitely gonna need a very, very deep clean. Not sure if I want to do this myself, honestly. It's pretty disgusting, but you know, I'll do it anyway. The back is not as bad, but still pretty gross. The seats are very comfortable. They still have pretty good support, so that's good. They just need a very good clean, like I said. Now the car also came with some surprises. There's a bunch of junk in the trunk. I don't know what any of this is, but this looks like some... There's cans and everything. It's pretty disgusting. I'd have to throw all of this away. One thing that I do like about this car is that it has a pretty good sound system. It has a Bose system, so I think that's an upgrade for this car. I haven't really researched a lot or know that much about this car yet, but I'm sure I will soon. And the car's also yelling at me for tire pressure, even though I checked the tire pressure, it seems fine. So I think the sensor's bad. The front tires, or maybe they're missing, and looks like the bulbs are out, or maybe somebody put some kind of LEDs in there or something that the computer doesn't like. I'm gonna have to check all of that out as well. I've never really had an Italian car, so this is very interesting to me. I've always had either BMWs, Minis, or those type of cars, other than my beater car when I was a kid. But it's pretty cool. I mean, I definitely feel like it's very cheap inside, but it does have a turbo gauge, so I guess that's something. They did put a little bit of leather looks like type of material on the interior, I guess to make it a little bit better. But it did wear out fairly quickly with not that many miles, to where you can see the buttons are, you know, all the plastic came off the buttons, the paint, as well as on here. This is all destroyed. This is pretty scratched up as well. I mean, I understand that people may not be treating it that well, but I don't think a car should be falling apart after, you know, 7 years and 84,000 miles. So I definitely don't believe that it has a really, really high standard or build quality compared to the other cars I've owned, but at least the engine sounds good and runs good. It's smooth, doesn't misfire or anything, so at least I lucked out on that part. Other parts of the interior are not much better. Even this is all loose and broken, but at least there's some kind of manual. Not all of it, but something's here. And then if you take a look at the key, it's all beat up as well. So this car was definitely abused. Hopefully I can give it a little bit of love and bring it back to some kind of life. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at the engine. It actually doesn't look too bad. It does look like there was some oil or whatever that got caked onto the turbo shield. Other than that, it looks pretty good. There's no leaks that I can see. I inspected it more or less, looking over everything. Looks pretty good. Even the battery looks pretty good. No corrosion or anything. So I think I got lucky there. The coolant's still in it, so it's not leaking coolant. Oil looked pretty good as well when I checked it. As you can see, actually looks pretty nice and clear. Not dark or anything. So this car was definitely not taken care of cosmetically, but I think whoever owned this car before did take care of the mechanicals. It's also kind of a funny story. This was a 2-owner car. The first owner actually, I think, took care of the car and did all the maintenance and everything. And the second owner only had the car for about 6 months. And I think all of this stuff that has happened to it, all the dings and dents and torn up interior and and cracked tires, I think this is doing of the second owner. But I'll fix all of that stuff. We're gonna bring her back to the former glory and have a really, really fun drive. So I lifted the car to start working on that bumper, and I looked underneath and look what I found. There is no muffler. That's why it sounds so loud. And this just looks like a regular piece of tube that was welded in. It's a straight pipe, and that's why it's so loud. Do like the sound, but I'm not really sure about the whole no muffler thing. So I'm gonna have to think about that one. So thank you guys for watching. I really hope you join me on this project. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.